Hey, welcome to Film Fanatics and our best and worst of the year show. My name is Dan.
My name is Justin.
And I'm Joe.
So we got a lot of different charts on the show this week. We're going to do our top 30 best movies of the year, the 10 worst, and then we've also got our 5 most disappointing and our 5 most anticipated for 2017. So a lot of ground to cover, a lot of charts. So why don't we kick it off with some good ones and do the first part of our top list, numbers 30 through 11.
Wow.
And then we'll kind of pause and do some of the other ones before we get to the top 10. Joe, do you want to start us off?
Sure. Now, I will say that I kind of made this up in preparation for the show tonight, so I can't say the orders are specific, but I will promise this much. These are movies that I would recommend you see from this year.
Okay.
So we'll start off with Money Monster, which I thought was a pretty decent George Clooney flick. I didn't like it a whole lot per se, but I think it had some good elements for sure. 29 is The Wailing, a classic horror movie that Justin pointed out to us. The Magnificent Seven, which I thought was a decent for a remake, which was also a remake of a remake, but Star-Lord wasn't completely Star-Lord.
But still basically Star-Lord.
27 was Deepwater Horizon. Wahlberg fights oil.
Kurt Russell, would I expect any less from you?
26 is The Accountant. Ben Affleck is agent guy. 25 is Hell or High Water, which is the Western movie we've seen 1,000 times, but it was good. 24 was Remember, in which a
Good Man?
certain person remembered.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, good man.
Mm-hmm.
And 23 is Ouija, Origin of Evil.
Wow.
Yeah.
Curveball.
I know, right? 22, Love and Friendship, some good Jane Austen. 21, Eye in the Sky. Ooh, some Rickman.
Yeah, true. Last big performance.
I know, great one too. Definitely see it for that. And then you've got Storks, big surprise there. Dan and I enjoyed that.
I loved that movie.
19 was Sloane.
Peterson?
Miss Sloane, Chastain. 18.
Sloane, dear.
Sloane. No, yes, that's what I kept thinking the whole time was Ferris Bueller. That's what happened to her.
True.
She dyed her hair red. 18, Snowden. 17 was Trolls, kind of a surprise.
That one just missed my list.
16, Green Room, classic Green Room, even though there should have been more green. 15 was The Wilder People. Enjoyed that one.
Okay.
14 is Finding Dory. 13 is Captain Fantastic. 12, X-Men, Apocalypse.
Oh, God.
Loved it.
You poor soul.
Loved it. And 11 is Jungle Book.
Okay. Some of those are on my list as well.
Oh, a few are.
Although some on my list you did not see, so...
A bunch I didn't see.
Yeah, let's get into it. Number 30 for me was Imperium. That was the Radcliffe Nazi movie. Very interesting. 29, Florence Foster Jenkins, Streep as the horrible singer. Number 28 for me, the only foreign movie on the list, Embrace of the Serpent. Really, really enjoyed that one. Finding Dory is at number 27. Number 26, Doctor Strange. One of 2 of the Marvel movies on my list. Don't Think Twice at number 25, the improv movie with, what's his name, Mike
Birbiglia?
Mike Birbiglia, yeah. 24 for me was The Jungle Book, Joe. Number 23, Don't Breathe. I thought that was a really, really good horror thriller.
Don't get it, Dan.
I know, well, that's all right. Swiss Army Man, number 22. Another Radcliffe performance there. Green Room for me was 21. Anton Yelchin, rest in peace there.
R.I.P.
But yeah, really, really a good thriller. Number 20, Eye in the Sky. Rickman making his performance on my list as well. Number 19, Manchester by the Sea.
Need to see that.
We'd definitely be looking for that one around Oscar time. But a great Affleck performance. Casey Affleck. Number 18 for me was 10 Cloverfield Lane. Really a lot from kind of a little, just a very small set.
Goodman.
And maybe, mainly 3 actors. And yeah, Goodman does it again there. Number 17 was Captain America Civil War. I like that slightly better than Doctor Strange. Both were A-minuses. But I really enjoyed bringing everybody into the fold there, especially Ant-Man and New Spider-Man had a lot of good stuff going on. Number 16 for me was Pop Star, Never Stop, Never Stopping. For me, one of the top comedies of the year, Sandberg and Company, Do It Again. Number 15, as it was on Joe's, is Hunt for the Wilder People. This was my pick for the DVD show a couple of weeks ago, and really, really enjoyable. 14, The Edge of 17. This was a huge surprise. I enjoy Haley Steinfeld a lot, but I was blown away by how Hughes-like this movie was. Speaking of Ferris Bueller. Number 13 for me is Wiener, the documentary about Anthony Weiner. Very, very eye-opening. 12 for me was Star Trek Beyond. Maybe my favorite in the new reboot series.
That's the correct
Yelchin Again.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah.
And number 11, another documentary. It was The Beatles, 8 Days a Week, the touring years. Ron Howard just did a great job directing this movie about a band that we thought we knew everything about. So that's my first 20. Justin, let's hear from you.
All right.
Hopefully, at least some repeats.
Hopefully. This is a little rough, but I got it to a point that I can,
Be
shall we say,
satisfied with it.
let's go with live with it.
Okay.
Number 30 is Fences. I thought this was just a really well done adaptation. Great directorial effort from Washington. Number 29, Nocturnal Animals. Amy Adams, Jake Gyllenhaal. A lot of weird stuff going on, but definitely not going to forget it anytime soon. Number 28, Southside with You. Say what you will about Obama. This is really well acted and a really good love story. Number 27, Midnight Special. Lot to unpackage with this one, but thought it was really well put together. Number 26, Pete's Dragon. Pretty much took a nothing Disney movie and actually did some cool stuff with it. Appreciate that. Number 25, Bridget Jones's Baby.
Good movie.
I was going to say, for one of the few things I can say, one of the few times I can say that a comedy that took X amount of years to come out was actually worth the wait. Number 24, 10 Cloverfield Lane. Speaking of waits, takes the mythology in a new direction, and very curious to see where they go from here. Number 23, Hell or High Water.
Garble.
Not quite as much garbles, but pretty sharp commentary. Great performance from Pine. Number 22, Everybody Wants Some. Pretty worthy follow-up to Dazed and Confused. Number 21 was Indignation. Thought it was a fantastic deconstruction of the 50s era. Number 20 was Eye in the Sky.
Oh, that was my number 20.
Speaking
And
of
you're
devil,
number
yeah.
21, Joe.
I know.
Wow.
That was that for time.
Perfect place for it, everybody.
There you go.
Great Rickman performance. Pretty much great performances all around, and lots of good themes to consider. Number 19, Green Room. I mean, super intense, really great performances. Saw a side of Patrick Stewart I'm never going to forget.
Yeah.
Number 18, Love and Friendship. Pretty much takes a whole new spin on Jane Austen adaptations. A lot of really good satire, a lot of really good humor. Number 17, Swiss Army Man, otherwise known as the Harry Potter Farting Corpse movie. What can I say? It's so weird and it's so awesome. Number 16 is The Beatles' 8 Days a Week, The Touring Years. Long title notwithstanding, really fantastic documentary. A lot of great footage, surprisingly holds up well and well restored. And really great angles taken from Ron Howard. Wish he put the same effort into Inferno. Number
Gotta get that shot in front.
Gotta get the digs in on the Hanks films, always.
Number 15, The Lobster. It ain't easy being single, and this is truly a poignant testimony to that. Number 14 is Sing Street. Number 13 is Arrival. Great Adams performance, and a really solid look at just how we communicate. Number 12, All the Way. Bryan Cranston is amazing. Enough said.
That one was my number 31. That just missed. That's a great movie.
That's a good movie. Very good.
And number 11, Morris from America. Easily one of my most liked protagonists this year, and Craig Robinson might be in top 5 favorite movie dads of all time.
Wow, that's pretty high.
All right, well, that's some of the good.
Uh-oh.
Let's hear about, not yet the worst, but let's hear about the most disappointing of the year. I think all of us have some in our bottom 10 that were also disappointing, but these are ones for me that I had hoped better of. I'll start this one off. My number 5, Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children.
All right.
It was just all right.
It's all right.
Yeah.
I like Asa Butterfield, although I guess not anymore. Very Burton-y. I like Eva Green. Just didn't do it for me. Number 4, Now You See Me Too. Really enjoyed the first film. This one, far cry. The horrible twin bit really fell flat. Number 3, The Boss. This was on my most anticipated last year. Big Melissa McCarthy fan, especially after Spy last summer, and this one did not deliver. Number 2, X-Men Apocalypse. Love those X-Men movies.
But disappointed.
But
Bryan
not
Singer,
this
why,
one.
Why have you betrayed us?
This one is just not good.
Well,
And Joe liked it.
I really did.
And Joe did say on the show, for X-Men purists, it's what you want. It's great. I don't read the book, so for me, the movies is what I have.
There's definitely a lot of fan service for
Yeah.
a lot of things, and I feel like if you don't know as much,
Yes, but is nerdier than thou a justifiable excuse?
I mean, if you really like it, yeah. I mean, if you don't, you
Yeah.
don't. I mean, that's fine, but I have
so-
no qualms about that one.
For me, it's on my most disappointing. Number 1, though, one that had a great trailer and really, really just made everyone a scumbag, and that is Collateral Beauty.
Ooh.
Joe?
Now, the interesting thing for me is I think there might be some repeat offenders because some can be disappointing and horrible.
That's true. Yes, that's
I was
true.
like, I can't.
They could be on both of your lists.
But we'll go from things that I wasn't quite as disappointed about to mostly. I mean, first of all, Batman v Superman. Deep down, did I know that this was going to be the best thing ever? No, but I was hoping. I was hoping, and it wasn't. It was disappointing. It was disappointing, but I half expected that. And much in the same regard, though, I was actually significantly more excited for Suicide Squad, but also pretty disappointing. Not to mention a certain other DC film that I kind of didn't really like too much that I was really looking forward to, and that was The Killing Joke.
Oh, yeah, true.
Yep. And then, of course, there was Independence Day, which I was truly...
Why has that betrayed us?
truly excited for, hardcore. I was raving about it constantly, and
Oopsie.
horrible.
Okay.
But what I can't forgive is when the Coen brothers say they made a great movie, and they only give you half a movie.
That's why I left it off my list. I knew that would be on yours.
It's Hail Caesar.
Yeah.
is just a complete smack in the face for their whole filmography.
Yeah. All right, Justin.
bad.
What disappointed you this year?
Oh,
Besides everything.
I was going to say, let me count the ways, gentlemen.
God.
But number 5 is actually one that we did not get to review on the show, but I think it is worth mentioning. Shin Godzilla. And
Didn't see that one, actually.
now, keep in mind, by disappointing, I don't mean bad per se. It's just nowhere near as good as it thinks or wants to be. Number 4 is Ghostbusters. So with this one, I was kind of debating, does this deserve it? Does Batman v Superman deserve it? Here's what justifies it for me. After Spy, I was kind of cautiously optimistic that Feig could rock Ghostbusters. I stand on the fact that he's underqualified. Number 3...
It's an opinion, not a fact.
I stand on my...
Because I liked Ghostbusters.
I stand on my statement
There you go.
that he is underqualified.
All right.
Number 3, Billy Lynn's Long Halftime Walk. Ong Lee, we deserve better. Number 2 is Moana. I mean, I was curious about this one. It was kind of Disney finally getting on board with some of the aspects of criticisms they've had in regards to Disney princesses and other things along those lines. And honestly, it just feels like, oh yes, diversity here because look how ahead of our time we are. And number 1, Suicide Squad. The DC Universe had literally nothing to lose with this movie and still managed to underwhelm. I'm just going to say it. If Justice League doesn't rock it, just pack up your stuff and go. You've got
Wonder Woman.
You've got nothing.
He hates Gal Gadot with Wonder Woman, though.
That's true.
I like some of those movies.
But they keep talking about them like, oh yes, we're going to give Marvel a run for her money. No, you're not. Go home.
Well,
You're not even a modicum close to Marvel right now.
This is the thing, though. As long as Marvel continues to be successful and there's a market for superhero movies and there's a whole other comic book company that rivals
They're
Marvel,
gonna keep trying.
They're going to keep trying and producing some money.
Like stick with the DCAU. You don't have anything in the live action universe right now.
Well, once again, it's a matter of putting talent together. I mean, 20 years ago, no one would have said that the Marvel movies were possible. So,
Yeah.
I don't
Touche.
think it's not
I'll give you that one.
Not really a fair statement, but
All right, well, Justin, what are you looking forward to in 2017? What's your top 5 most anticipated?
Okay. I'm going to kick mine off with a little bit of an honorable mention. We are going to be getting yet another film in the Cloverfield anthology universe, and I'm curious to see how that'll go.
Already?
This time, Gugu Mbatha-Raw joins the joins the action. So curious to see how that stacks up. Number 5 is a little bit of a shot in the dark, but so far production stills are looking promising, and that is The Dark Tower. I'm still not quite sure if this is ready for the theatrical front yet, but with Idris Elba, Matthew McConaughey, I'm curious.
People think Dune's unfilmable. Dark Tower. Oh, man. Not that I don't.
The talent is there, and Stephen King gave it his blessing, so hey, why not? Number 4, A Cure for Wellness. We finally get Gore Verbinski returning to horror, and so far the trailers are pretty freaking creepy. I'm excited to see how this one plays out.
They are creepy.
Number 3 is Kong Skull Island. The forehead takes on the big monkey, and
She does.
And I'm curious to see how this will tie into the Godzilla universe. Is there something here? And if so, how will it come together? Number 2 is Baby Driver. We get Edgar Wright in America this time, and with Ansel Elgort and Lily James, I'm definitely excited for this one. Going heist movie this time. Number 1 is Blade Runner 2049.
Well, yeah.
I guess that, yeah.
And it wasn't until I saw the trailer that I was on board. And I think Denis Villeneuve is perfect for the job. Ridley Scott's definitely got his hands in it. Looks promising. Hopefully it rocks and is a worthy follow-up in October.
All right. Believe it or not, we have one actually that matches, Justin.
Oh, please continue.
Well, my honorable mention is, much like last year's Ghostbusters, a movie that I wasn't sure how it was going to go, but we didn't need anyway, so we'll see, is Spider-Man Homecoming. Spider-Man rocked it in Civil War as Tom Holland. Tom Holland as Spider-Man, I should say.
The twist.
The twist is
It got
he's
meta.
Tom Holland the whole time.
He was Tom Holland the whole time.
Hot Aunt May, we'll see.
Well, I mean, hey, apparently that's just a plus because, I'm too hardcore.
Very hardcore.
I'm too hardcore.
Sally Field's always my favorite.
Hey, people still wanted to do her, at the time.
I would do Sally Field. She's like 80. I'm on board. And my number 5 is where our lists meet with The Cure for Wellness. I think this looks really, really promising. Very interesting. I like Gore Verbinski sometimes. And I agree, the trailers look very intriguing. Number 4 for me, I always pick a comedy that I don't know much about but looks exciting. For me, it's Baywatch. I think with The Rock and what's-his-face, Zac Efron, I think Baywatch might be another success for The Rock. Number 3 is Beauty and the Beast. Now, am I necessarily really, really foaming at the mouth for this? No, but I'm not looking forward to any animated feature this coming year, except for, I guess, Lego Batman. But, Despicable Me 3, all the upcoming animated Disney ones, no. Cars 3, spare me. So, Disney's done great with these live-action things, Maleficent notwithstanding, but you've got Jungle Book, Pete's Dragon, I agree, Justin was very good.
Cinderella.
And Cinderella. So, Beauty and the Beast is one of my favorite animated ones. Let's see how they take it to the live screen. Number 2, Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Loved that first one. Quite the surprise when it came out. The trailer just makes me howl. Baby Groot. So we'll see how that goes. And number 1 is one that I just found out about today as I was looking through the list. Very excited about Kingsman: The Golden Circle. That first Kingsman movie, fantastic across the board. I really, really like Taron Egerton. He's done a lot of great work in the last couple of years. So we'll see what happens with Kingsman.
He was Eddie the Eagle.
He was Eddie the Eagle, yes. He was also
but he'll always be Exy.
The guy in Sing.
Yes.
Yeah, he was the ape.
Yeah.
The ape, right.
Yes.
All right, so Joe,
Well,
how about for you?
Since I forgot to do mine, I'm going to actually do something interesting.
Okay.
What do you guys think my top 5 would be? And I'll see if I agree or not.
It.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty intrigued by that.
Wonder Woman.
That would definitely be on there.
Blade Runner
I
2.
knew that one. Yeah, Blade Runner.
Blade Runner actually does look pretty awesome.
What about the new apes?
No.
No?
I'm
But
kinda
Kong?
No.
No? Okay.
Not really.
Guardians 2?
Guardians 2 is probably number 1.
Okay, so that's
Okay.
3. Justice League?
No.
Yeah, I
Ooh.
didn't think Justice League, and I don't think Thor Ragnarok.
Well, no. Well, I mean...
Bad Moms Christmas?
Nope. Nope. Cure for Wellness does look good. But
Cure for Wellness looks pretty interesting.
But I don't think it's up there. When does it come out?
February.
So you guys are like excited for a horror movie that comes out in February? Nope.
Lego Batman?
Lego Batman I can accept. I do like Lego Batman. I'm not going to take it because I'm not feeling that one. Beauty and the Beast, maybe, but it's Beauty and the Beast. It doesn't really need to be done. You guys have to look for a list. You're going to have to do it.
Gotta be some cool sci-fi.
Blade Runner.
New Cloverfield already?
Alien? Covenant?
Oh, yeah, the new Alien.
I know you don't like Prometheus that much.
I mean, it's like I like Prometheus, but it's stupid. There's like I can see both sides. Well, I'll tell you what. I am looking forward to new Alien, so we'll go with that. Ridley Scott?
Yes.
Okay, that's fine then.
Very good.
So it's going to be...
Good list.
Yeah, I like it. Thanks,
Guardians, Lego, Wonder Woman.
That's pretty much my list.
All Joe classics.
Yeah. How many of them will be good, though?
Lego Batman, I think, is assured.
That's probably...
And I think Guardians is probably a home run, yeah. Wonder Woman, up in the air, I would
Up in
say.
the air. But this is the last straw. Like, Wonder Woman, I genuinely interested, but after this, I'm done. If Wonder Woman's not good, I'm giving up.
Okay.
I am giving up after Wonder Woman.
You heard it here first, folks.
Put it on audio.
The DC fanboy is threatening to jump ship.
I'm telling you, Wonder Woman better deliver, or I am done.
Okay.
I am done.
Very good. All right, well, let's get to some of the worst of the year. Justin's going to have his own top 10 best that we did not cover on the show, because he sees, a lot of the independent movies and foreign movies and stuff like that. But I have an honorable bottom 10.
What?
Because I didn't see a lot of good movies we didn't cover. I saw a lot of bad movies we didn't cover.
Interesting.
So I have a top 4, and these are movies that I saw that we didn't cover on the show that either got a D or an F from me. And that is The Perfect Match. I even forget the guy's name. But it's an African-American comedy, and it was terrible. 9 Lives, the one where Spacey becomes a cat. The Wildlife, which is the animated Robinson Crusoe film. Nothing good about that. And my number one worst of the year that we didn't cover is Meet the Blacks, which Joe watched about 5 minutes of on Netflix. Couldn't do it.
Unwatchable.
It's Mike Epps, horribly unfunny person to begin with, in a parody movie of basically The Purge. So here's my real bottom 10 for the movies we talked about on the show. Number 10, Dirty Grandpa. Very disappointing. One funny scene, and it didn't even involve Efron or De Niro. Number 9, Gods of Egypt. Some of the worst CGI of the year. Really, really boring. Number 8, Ice Age Collision Course. No reason for this movie to even exist. I didn't get one laugh out of it. Number 7, Regression. That was that Ethan Hawke movie where...
That was bad.
I forget what happens. Is Dakota Fanning's in it or something?
Yeah.
Oh, Emma Watson.
Emma Watson, yeah.
Yeah,
It's supposedly traumatized.
Terrible.
Cult thing.
Yeah. Now, those movies I gave D's to. My bottom 6 is all F's. You got Jack Reacher, Never Go Back. I mean, maybe it doesn't deserve an F, but it's just so generic and horrible.
That's a C.
Yeah.
But just give it an F.
It's an F. Number 5, I gave a D on the show, and in retrospect, deserves that F, and that's Independence Day 2. Horrible. Number 4, The Darkness. That was the horror movie with Kevin Bacon. One funny line, though, which isn't what you want for a horror movie. But number 3, Norm of the North. Covered that in January, along with my number 2, The Forest, another terrible horror movie. But no, the worst of the year for me was Shut In. That was that thriller about the home intruder, I guess.
Oh, I didn't see that.
But not really. But like kind of.
Oh, you're missing out, sir.
Yeah, you guys said the doors were open.
They couldn't close a door in that movie. Terrible. All right, Joe?
But yeah, it just was a bad year for movies. This wasn't a hard list to make.
There's a lot of bad ones.
A lot of ones I didn't like this year. Like number 10 was Bad Santa 2. Just don't do it. Number 9 was Hail Caesar because it was horrible. It was horrible. 8 was Criminal, though. You guys remember that?
That just missed the cut on mine. That was bad.
God, that movie was so bad. I'm a good person, but I'm not.
No, you're not.
Costner strikes again.
7 was The Fifth Wave. Oh, so horrible.
That was bad.
6 was the great comedy, The Darkness. So good. So good.
Make it stop.
Number 5 was another horror, The Blair Witch. Pointless.
Yeah, that was bad.
Pointless. Number 4 was Boo Medea. Boo.
Yep.
Boo. Number 3, I actually did think about, and I agreed with you guys finally, Gods of Egypt. It was
It's terrible.
So garbage. No,
So garbage.
so garbage. Number 2 was Assassin's Creed, though.
Ouchie.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But do you know what my number 1 was? The Forest.
Oh, that was very bad.
That was
Yeah.
not a good movie.
Yeah.
It's not.
All right, Justin. You told us off the air you had 10 Fs this year?
Yeah.
Is that right? So
Yeah,
all of them made the cut.
There was absolutely no room
Okay.
for extras. But number 10, God's Not Dead 2. First of all, there is no debate about the
Wait.
the entire title is pointless. Number 9 is The Forest. If you're not even going to put any modicum of an effort into trying to make a movie, why make it?
Yeah, far sucked.
Yeah. Number 8, Collateral Beauty. If you put glitter on trash, is it still trash? Yes. No. Number 7, Norm of the North.
The movie was so terrible.
Just one of those times where I'm watching it the entire time, trying to find any reason not to fail it, and coming up with nothing. It's just bad. It's monumentally bad. Number 6, Zoolander 2.
Too harsh.
Too harsh.
I'll be frank. After Tropic Thunder, I was the one that was kind of like okay with Ben Stiller. After this movie, seriously, Stiller, what is your problem? Because at this point, I feel like you've offended just about anyone who's not skinny, white, and Jewish. Number 5, Shut-In. One of the dumbest movies I quite possibly have ever seen in my entire existence. Number 4 is Dirty Grandpa. This movie's just nauseatingly bad. Robert De Niro is a horrible character, and not even in a remotely funny way.
Sally Darby Paul.
Zac Efron looks like he's bored. Zoe Deutsch exists. And number 3, The Darkness. If there's one takeaway I've definitely learned from 2016 is that Hollywood does not even remotely care about the disabilities community, and this movie is a testament to that. Number 2, Criminal.
Oh, yeah.
Words cannot express
It's bad.
the misery and pain I dealt with while watching this movie.
But something was worse.
But something was in fact worse, and that would be Mother's Day. This
Yo.
Oh, no
horrible.
way is that worse than Criminal.
Yo,
It's
the moms.
horrible. It's poorly written. It's horribly edited. Nobody looks like they even put
Wow.
even a remote evident moment of
Garner.
effort into it.
What a tribute to the late, great Gary Marshall, everyone. All right.
Thank you.
I know, I can't agree with that. But let's hear about the 10 movies, Justin, that you liked that we didn't get to cover on the show.
Okay. Number 10, Our Little Sister. If 2016 is the horrible, nasty, self-deprecating era that it was,
It was.
Our Little Sister is like the comforting hug that tells you everything's going to be okay.
See.
It's not necessarily like the greatest foreign film I've ever seen, but it's touching in a way that's not hokey. It's honest, and it's a really good slice of life movie. Number 9 is one that Dan didn't see, but Joe did, and that would be The Boy and the Beast. This is a strange cocktail of Zootopia meets Spirited Away, and the house that they meet up in is Dragon Ball Z, and
Yeah.
it kind of all comes together in this weird and wacky way, and in a strange way, it's kind of a better superhero movie than both of the ones that we got this year, for Marvel at least. Number 8 is Loving. I mean, Jeff Nichols, he's still on a roll here, and
We'll hopefully be reviewing that before our Oscar wrap-up show. Hopefully it comes to DVD soon.
hopefully.
Yeah.
Number 7 is one that I mentioned in our Best of Summer, and that would be Raiders, the story of the greatest fan film ever made. Just really fun to watch them put this together. Really solid sense of humor, really good stories to tell, and really shows just how much passion can go into one seemingly simple project. Number 6 is The Innocents. This is a really hard-hitting drama. I just immediately got on board with the characters, the whole scenario, some really powerful emotional scenes, and just really sad we missed this one. This was a Midtown exclusive. Number 5 is Creative Control. So if we're going to do combos here, this one is Ex Machina meets Frances Ha, and somehow it all comes together. And probably even throw in a little bit of her just for flavor. And it's funny, intense, and a little romantic in a weird and wacky way. Number 4 is, lo and behold, Reveries of the Connected World. We see a lot of things that are commentary about, that are talking about the connectedness of the world, the way the media is a part of our lives, how we consume electronic goods and stuff like that. This looks at it with both optimism and caution at the exact same time, and while I'll admit it's definitely inside, it's fascinating to hear the multiple perspectives.
Well, I'll tell you, man, a VCR is a great meal.
Number 3 is Coming Home. Zhang Yimou is one of my favorite foreign film directors and just does an incredible job giving us this family drama that gives us a lot of perspective about the eras that he's covering, but also trying to make it a multi-dimensional issue of what does it mean to deal with a family member that may or may not be able to recover their memories. What does it mean to be gone for so long and try and reconnect with someone? Number 2 is Son of Saul. This is just a gut-wrenchingly emotional movie. Won best foreign, and for very good reason. Just powerful, intense, and really, really good stuff. And my number 1, and would have easily been in my top 5 had we covered it, Joshua Oppenheimer's follow-up to The Act of Killing, The Look of Silence.
Yeah, I did want to see that.
Powerful stuff, and arguably even better than The Act of Killing.
Whoa.
But I did love that movie.
Where they, like, killed people and didn't care.
Yes, very true. All right, well, Joe, let's hit you then for the top 10 best movies of the year.
So you're going to abuse me to get it out of me?
Why don't you go? We're going to beat you. We're going to hit you with it.
I mean, like, all right, I'll give it a go, I suppose.
Right. Why don't you get us to number 2?
Number 2. All right, well, my number 10 is Zootopia. I mean, just pretty much everything you'd expect from classic Disney film. But, you know, if it's number 9, it's going to be Star Trek Beyond.
Nice.
The best of the new Star Treks, for sure. I really did like it for once. You know, no, without any restraint of, like, saying I have to. True. And number 8 would be Fences. Just fantastic Denzel, for sure. If you could figure out what number 7 is, you guys may have mentioned it, but it's 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Nice.
You know, just really surprised me. I like it for Goodman. Usually good man, great man in this.
True.
John Greatman. Excellent. Definitely a lot with a little. Number 6 was The Nice Guys. Just funny, interesting.
Good choice.
Great stuff. Number 5 is Deadpool. Really changed the game with R-rated superhero films. Hopefully we'll be seeing more of those to our detriment, I'm sure. Number 4 was Hacksaw Ridge. Just Mel Gibson, just despite what you might think of it, he hit it out of the park big time.
Hey, he can direct.
He can. But can he direct his life? No,
I dare say probably not a good idea.
Probably not. Number 3, though, Doctor Strange.
Nice. I knew that had to be up there.
Absolutely loved it. And my number 2, this might be the shocker, Kubo and the Two Strings.
Oh, so something beat out Kubo.
That's right. You were expecting like a 20-minute review again of Kubo.
All right, Justin, how about for you?
Well, 5 minutes of how nice it is, and then
it's just really nice weather. By the way, Kubo's great.
Number 10 is a documentary that we reviewed very early in the year, and that would be Cartel Land. Just really interesting dynamic, focusing on 2 sides of a very, very complicated issue. Really well done. Number 9 is Don't Think Twice. Mike Birbiglia does it again. Hopefully won't be losing sight of him anytime soon. Number 8 is Anomalisa, not Animalisa, as I stupidly called it when we did the original most anticipated. Really fascinating and curious character study. Really interesting performances, very complicated and a lot to digest, but absolutely worth it. Number 7 is Wiener. Really solid work talking about a man who's pretty much a narcissist and a lot to think about in reflection of 2016 as a whole, no pun intended. But number 6, Manchester by the Sea. One of the hardest hitting movies of the year and absolutely worth every second of it. Number 5, The Wailing. Easily scariest movie of the entire year. Really solid direction and manages to cover a lot of deeper themes amidst the horrors and scares. Number 4 is Zootopia. Speaking of deeper themes, probably one of the most poignant ways to talk about societal issues that I've ever seen on film, and great protagonist. Really, really good stuff there. Number 3 is La La Land. Damien Chazelle hopefully is going to remain a force to be reckoned with. Great performances and absolute showstoppers of songs. Not a bad word I can say about it. Number 2 is Moonlight. This is just an incredible piece of cinema. Every aspect of how it's broken up into separate segments is well done, well acted, beautifully shot, and really gives us a solid look at this lifestyle and these characters and how they interact and how they get to the points that they're at in their lives.
All right. Well, Joe, I think you will especially like my number 10.
I hope so.
Because I gave it a B+ originally, but then I saw Arrival a second time, and it's excellent.
Oh, it's good.
You remember I saw it out of order when I first
You
saw it.
didn't see the beginning part.
Yeah,
first,
wasn't my fault, but yes, number 10 for me is Arrival. Amy Adams just gives one of the best performances of the year easily, and just a truly original sci-fi film. Number 9 for me is Deadpool. Change the game, Joe. You're absolutely right. I mean, one that I think people will be watching 10 years from now and will still be enjoying just as much. Number 8, The Nice Guys. Very, very funny. Gosling and Crow, great pair together. Good sort of parody of 70s cop kind of stuff. Number 7 for me is Moonlight. Justin said it. I mean, this really is just a very solid piece of drama. Great acting here. Number 6, Zootopia. One of Disney's best in a long, long time. And far and away for me the best animated film of the year. Number 5, Hell or High Water. Great Western. Garbles does it again. But, Chris Pine and Ben Foster also give great performances. Maybe a little more standard than some of the other ones on my list, but no less thrilling. Number 4, Fences. 2 powerhouse performances from Viola Davis and Denzel Washington. Some interesting directing choices from Washington as well. Number 3, Captain Fantastic. Huge surprise for me. Really, didn't know what to expect going into it, but great family comedy. It's comedy about a family. It's not a comedy for families.
No.
Not quite now.
No. And number 2 for me is La La Land. Gosling again. Only person to appear twice in my top 10. And really just a fantastic performance from both him and Emma Stone. Great musical numbers, great cinematography. I said it when we reviewed it. I think it probably will be the Best Picture of the year at the Oscars. All right, Joe, let's hear it. What is your favorite movie of the year? I have a guess, just because I haven't heard it yet. But let's see what beat out Kubo for you.
What beat out Kubo?
It's got to be Suicide Squad, right?
Yeah, great film.
Is it Arrival?
It's Arrival.
Okay.
Right on.
Very good.
Arrival's great. Original sci-fi. Fantastic movie. Loved it. Blew me away.
Perfect. Justin?
I mean, it's Kubo. Strikes Again, this time giving us a 100% solid piece of work. Animation is incredible. Storyline is fantastic and really hits home a big idea of what I would argue is the major takeaway of where we are in terms of cultural zeitgeist. Like, what is the narrative that gets us to our current mindset, and what does that all mean? Is anyone ever truly good or truly evil? And I think it has a lot to say about that, and a lot to take away for both adults and children at the same time.
All right. I'm sensing a theme with my number ones. You had, Perks of Being a Wallflower. You had Mud, Chef. Kind of like the coming-of-age stories. And this year is no different. Sing Street tops my chart. Just, talk about songs,
Yeah.
Great original songs. Really, really adorable dialogue that rings true. 80s music scene in, Scotland or something?
Yeah.
Somewhere, Scotland, England. I think it's Scotland. But just fantastic, funny, touching. All the things I always really enjoy about coming of age. So, there you go.
Drive it like you stole it.
Interesting lists.
Yeah.
Some surprises and some not surprises.
Yeah, as
So,
usual.
as per usual. But yeah, ones to check out, listeners, if you've missed any of those, and possibly ones to avoid if you've been waiting to pull the trigger on Gods of Egypt or something.
This is your time.
Don't do it. Do not do it.
Not
all
sober
right.
anyway.
Well, we'll revisit our top 20 for the year in about a month and a half at the Oscars once we have time to watch some of these other movies a little bit more. And, Joe will probably catch up on some of the ones he missed, La La Land and perhaps Moonlight. And hopefully we do get to check out Loving, Justin, because that did look very good. I wish it was a little bit more widely released. So we could have tackled it. But, all right, well, thanks for listening. We've got the Facebook group of course, Film Fanatics with an exclamation point, the Twitter feed at Film Fanatics Pod, and, of course, you could subscribe right here on the YouTube channel as well. Thanks so much for listening, and we'll see you back here for a regular show next time.